Learning about Kundalini primarily happens on the inside. Unfortunately, the more people tell us about it, the more we risk losing our own personal insights. But if no one tells us anything, then we risk missing the journey completely. I aim to teach in a way where you realize your own answers. The passing of Kundalini as an imprint means the energy is filtered through other people's souls, higher selves, and DNA. This is often called a lineage. Honoring the history and potency of a lineage can be powerful, but when people are not doing their own inner work, when they are equaling their self mastery to that of their guru or teacher, then the potency of the transmission can become diluted. Consciousness can become bored when teachings turn into doctrinations. It's important to have our own experiences and understandings, develop our own imprint of Kundalini, expression of awakened consciousness. Nobody can really explain to you what this is. The experience is beyond words. The best thing is to just start. Otherwise, who knows when you will have enough time to practice, change your diet, lifestyle, and find the right teacher. Some of the wisest words are, the time is now, and you are your best teacher. So just trust that when you work towards alignment, what you need comes to you. And of course, you're welcome to see it differently and follow any path you like or request to join any lineage that you like. Just be wary of anyone who gives you Shaktipat and then claims to be your guru. For some people, this experience of giving power away is needed and part of their journey. But ultimately, we should always be free and aiming to get our imprint of Kundalini in alignment with our soul and higher self, as this is our clearest vibration to God and oneness, so holds the most power. Using the imprints of other people to help us get there is not bad, but it is why this work is sometimes connected to black magic, voodoo, and working with demons. It's not a wise thing to do karmically when your intentions are negative or defensive. Most of the time, we are here to learn forgiveness, but you need to realize this for yourself and to choose the rare moments when the best thing for your soul is to include more darkness than light in your learning and development of your light body. If you take or did already take an imprint of Kundalini from a mostly negative source, and some people have these imprints without knowing, thinking it's a positive connection to source instead of a negative one, then it can still help you. But what is essential is that you find your own way to align with your higher self and your authentic expression of Kundalini as quickly as possible. What these darker energies often do is to take our experiences away from us. Good and bad is not relevant in this sense. So we might feel happy that our bad feelings have gone, but to evolve and free ourselves of suffering, we should be transforming all of our experiences into positive ones that support our evolution. Allowing other energies to feed from our energy and personal power is not a good thing, even if we feel they are only taking what is negative away from us. As this is energy we should transform, not lose. There are other schools that say you should clear all your karma as quickly as possible, and you do not need to learn the soul lesson that comes with the karma. They say the majority of your karma is ancestral or collective, and suggest using energy techniques to clear the spine where karma is stored, setting you free from the pain of it, but without entraining your mind and DNA with the knowledge received in the process of setting yourself free. We are not adding the needed knowledge and experience to the collective consciousness. The school of thought I offer is somewhere in the middle, ensuring we grow and work on the collective levels, but without completely sacrificing our ego, at least the healthy part. I know in my life the shadow and darker parts are trying to evolve, and my role is to help them, not reject them. To keep talking about this keeps us circling around the never-ending paradox again and again, which can be helpful for as long as we have unsurety about what we are choosing. This course and the advanced trainings are to teach a perspective and form of energy work that is accessible to a greater audience while guiding people onto a path to take control of their own learning, healing, and awakening, to understand their own uniqueness, to be their own guru, and to ensure that our experiences of Kundalini do not become watered down to 90 minutes of orgasmic breathing in a yoga studio with some TRE exercises to ensure everybody moves, shakes, and makes sound. Although I am often criticized for over-sexualizing Kundalini or forcing it to wake up, my work is not a Kundalini activation, but the preparation for one that allows us to experience more bliss in the body. I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with what I do or with TRE or the modern Neo-Tantra approaches. These experiences and practices can be valuable, healing, and help to open up our bodies to more authentic experiences of spirituality, as yoga does and as Kundalini bodywork does, which includes such breathing and shaking techniques. But the body shaking and going into full body orgasms are not a Kundalini rising, although a Kundalini rising in some people can be induced by having excess energy that these practices generate, thus activating our Kundalini, so it's all related. Kundalini bodywork is primarily and initially about our own healing. Over time, Kundalini activations may happen, but these should be leading us into a deeper spiritual commitment, one that changes our world profoundly and for the better. A Kundalini rising happens when we have masculine and feminine balance in our three bodies with all of our chakras open, and can allow our consciousness to transcend to a higher place before coming back to earth and grounding these gifts into reality, whatever they may be for us. In yogic traditions, these gifts are called siddhis. Some texts say that Kundalini waking up on the feminine side will bring us gifts of healing, clairvoyance, and psychic perceptions, and waking up on the right-hand side, more mental and physical powers such as telekinesis and telepathy, whereas waking up on both sides together brings us eternal bliss and enlightenment. I would not prescribe to this understanding as a total truth. It's best to find your own truth and uniqueness through experience, but it can be a helpful perspective to build on, especially when doing Kundalini and polarity work together. Aiming for the middle ground to me is walking a tantric path, living in between a full-blown and permanent awakening, non-dual samadhi enlightened state to a fully grounded 3D, 4D linear experience of life, acting as a closed system existing from the energy and information stored in our bodies. For me, Kundalini bodywork creates this middle ground. We bridge the 3D and 4D and 5D experiences of life while remaining grounded enough for our soul to have the experience it came for while making the world a more enlightened place. Our Kundalini will be sometimes more, sometimes less active. Our different chakras sometimes less and sometimes more active, meaning we can work with our unbalances and misalignments to create evolution in a grounded way. We can work with this energy to come into union with another human being, our two snakes merging with their two snakes to find balance, or into union with a greater collective. Eventually we may come into union with the totality of consciousness, union with God. But when we truly do this, I don't think we come back. For as long as we are human, we will always be coming back into our human body and experience. So if you like, you can see Shaktipat as a union of your two snakes, your masculine and feminine energies with the two snakes of another person. This is a more helpful analogy than seeing Shaktipat as a submission to a guru. The symbolism of two snakes weaving around the spine are to help you grasp the multitude of the concepts without words. And in merging with another person, you can create your own visual expression of this in any way you like. The most important thing is that it has meaning and makes sense to you. However we choose to see this, Kundalini is a gift. The Kundalini rising and Kundalini energy in the body are both gifts, and we need to use them wisely. The difference between Kundalini bodywork and Shaktipat, where we immediately move into yoga, dancing, bliss, and orgasms, is that in Kundalini bodywork, we are owning our own process and supporting someone else to own their process through their own experience of energy and connection to Source and Gaia Earth energy. It's a very fine and grey line, but once we are aware of and able to dance on this line, dance between different worlds and perspectives, ways of being human, we can bring more consciousness to the world. If you're currently wanting to or are receiving Shaktipat, or you're consciously or accidentally giving a form of Shaktipat when you work with people, this course and the advanced trainings should support you better in recognizing how to channel truth for another, what kind of truth, and when darker energies are at play, and to ensure the process is not one of domination of the giver's vibration, but of liberation.